Alright, ladies and gentlemen, my name's Dan Sherman, and on this episode of Hungry for Some Leftovers, you won't believe this. Check it out. We've got this lovely South Philadelphia centerpiece, just in time for the holidays. Get your pumpkin spice ready, ladies and gentlemen. Turkey and cheese hoagie, minus the cheese, in case you're lactose intolerant. Get ready. I'm ready. Get your munchies on. Let's go.
Hey, Mom! The meatloaf! We want it now!
All right, we're back with another episode of Hungry for Some Leftovers. This time, joined with a guest. Another Dan is here.
Oh, yeah, Dan Sherman, ladies and gentlemen. What's up?
Dan Sherman is here. Came all the way from Philadelphia, correct?
Yeah.
Philadelphia to be here tonight, parked in the wrong driveway. Quickly shut that one down and moved it on over here. Nothing would be more awkward than having to meet my neighbor for the first time. Somebody pulling in the driveway for the wrong time. So that would be fun.
I pulled up and I had a feeling I was in the wrong driveway immediately, but I was like, give it a shot.
This looks sketchy, but not sketchy enough to be where Dan resides.
I was like, Waze hasn't let me down yet, so let's pray. You know,
something must have happened there, but yeah, let's go over the Philadelphia centerpiece, I guess, as we're gonna call it.
Yes.
We're gonna come up right now with what we'll list it as, but I mean, we were talking a little before recording. I think you had a pretty good lead in to give it the description of where the leftovers came from today, and just the overall idea that we're gonna pitch to the people online here.
So this fantastic turkey club here, turkey and cheese without the cheese, is from a dispensary from the refrigerator. Little leftovers here, but it's in honor of Mum. You know, Mum passed away this past year, and she really loved turkey in the holidays, and so we're holidaying and spicing this up for you guys to really in her honor tonight. You know, this is in honor of Mum right here.
It's a great accent that it's doing there. And just Mum died, and we created a nice centerpiece out of her favorite hoagie, a cheeseless turkey hoagie from the Acme in South Philly, right?
I've spent enough time around a lot of Delco open micers in the last couple months to really kind of perfect that Mara Easttown accent, you know?
So how long have you been doing comedy for? And what is your background in the dispensary game? How'd you get into that?
Well, I started comedy in November, so I guess it's been about almost a full year now coming up, and got into the dispensary game because I've been smoking marijuana, copious amounts of marijuana, for well over a decade now. In the industry, I would be called like what is it called? Like a connoisseur.
A connoisseur. That's what they call it in the industry, huh?
That's what those corporate yuppies like to call us.
But the marijuana industry, dispensary specifically, it is very corporate though, isn't it?
Oh yeah, lots of big companies buying up the little guys. Classic capitalism, you know. Yeah, lower level. It's pretty loosey-goosey at the dispensary. I like, not loosey-goosey, but we like to have fun, you know. Obviously, I'm not in a suit and tie every day.
Yeah.
But you know, I put on my super suit here, and I become a chemist, a pharmacist, a bud tender, a learned connoisseur.
A bud tender, Jesus. Nothing but Bud Light and Bud in there, huh?
Aren't you just some guy that sells me fucking drugs? I don't know if I can swear, but sorry.
Oh, yeah. We're not picked up by any corporate mass media network at this point.
We're not worried QVC is going to kick us off.
No.
Here.
So now let's.
Is this an NFT? I don't know.
We can turn this into an NFT if it doesn't sell. It's just the Philadelphia centerpiece. It's just got a hoagie in there. I know it's not a Wawa hoagie, but this is what you get from the break room at a dispensary.
Yeah, we didn't get that corporate sponsorship. It ain't no Wawa, you know, but you know, ain't no Wawa over it either. That's horrible. That's why I'm an open micer. Jokes like that. Terrible.
Now, what's the title that we want to call this to really? That's going to be the big, that in this photo that we have, which I'll put right here on the screen, but this photo of the centerpiece along with the staging that we did.
These photos are magnificent.
And just to throw out there as well, my wife came home shortly before we started after we took these photos, and she's like, "What the fuck? You've never staged any type of dinner setup like this in our entire 6-year relationship."
It is quite romantic. He went through a lot of effort for this.
Candle, the wine, I'm a good state. I mean, I know what we were looking for in this photo, and for the fine people of Facebook Marketplace, it's going to be eye catching. They're looking for some free centerpieces.
It caught my eye. I was starting to get aroused just when seeing him set the table and everything. I was like, oh my god.
So let's go word for word how we're going to describe this here. You sound it out in the Philadelphia accent, and I will try and type it on out here.
Mum passed away watching the season finale of Mayor of Easttown, and she loved the holidays. And we honor her with this Gobbler centerpiece, the South Philly centerpiece. Rest in peace, Mum.
Passed away watching the season finale of Mayor of Easttown, and then what?
And she loved the she loved the holidays.
She loved the holidays and a good turkey hoagie.
Yeah, and a good and gobbling down a good old turkey.
Loved the holidays and gobbling down a good turkey hoagie.
We honor her with this South Philly centerpiece. Rest in peace, my mom. Hashtag go birds. As she commanded in her will.
Can we throw that in the beginning of this, that we have to legally put this up there because according to her will, she wanted us.
Per the last will and rights.
It's the final will and testament, right? Is that what it is?
I think so. Yeah, will and rights. It's like the angels are coming to arrest your soul. Like it's your will and rights. All right, we're gonna read them to you. And
per the final will and rights of our
beloved mum.
Our beloved mum.
Sweet woman. She was the first lady on her block not to use a switch on her kids. If centerpieces were soundtracks to our lifetime, this was that.
Okay, so I think we got all this figured out. Per the will and rights of our beloved mum, we are listing the centerpiece that she would make every holiday season. She passed away watching the final season of Mayor of Easttown, and she loved the holidays and gobbling down a good turkey hoagie. The centerpieces for the soundtrack to our lifetime. This would be it. Every year, Mum stuffed it with a new turkey hoagie from the local Acme, and we honor her with this South Philly turkey hoagie centerpiece that she would have loved. Perfect.
The Audubon people don't like that. They don't like seeing the Haddonfield up there.
Oh, no. Definitely not.
Green Wave does not like any rival.
Oh, do you know Audubon, New Jersey? Are you familiar?
I am. My best friend from college, shout out Tom Dyer, is from Audubon, New Jersey. Just celebrated a bacchanal of a bachelor party with him and several of the finest gentlemen Audubon, New Jersey has ever produced.
Aside from the late, great Brendan Donegan, also from Audubon, New Jersey, sadly passed away last night, gobbling down a turkey hoagie, the other end of this hoagie.
COVID got another one.
We got another good brother out of Audubon, New Jersey. We'll pour one out for him.
This pod's for you, Brendan. Fucking his name up in the afterlife.
Oh, Jesus.
Mercy.
Jesus. So now we're live. We're going to wait for some messages to roll in. And in the meantime, enjoy this message from one of our special sponsors.
Hey, yo, when life gives you lemons, open a used car dealership. That's what my pappy always said. And that's why I opened Uncle Sal's Lube and Go. Come on down to the beautiful intersection of Tasker and Broad. We specialize in auto care, auto accessories, and autoerotic asphyxiation. Our rival Jiffy Lube might get you out in a jiffy, but they sure as hell don't give you the amount of lube that we do. Am I right, fellas? No one will beat our prices or lubrication. Ladies, we proudly stand by our lubricant technicians who effortlessly have worked throughout this pandemic well below minimum wage to make sure no carburetor ever ran dry. Uncle Sal's Lube and Go. Luber, I hardly know her.
And we're back. The listing has been approved, surprisingly. The Facebook standards are just really low. Apparently, all you don't have, you just can't say anything about taking over the government or trying to sell fake Bitcoin. Other than that, I mean, hoagie centerpieces are full game, and things are already starting to fly off the shelves here. People really wanting this, people telling us to hold on to it. But we have a message from Sarah asking if it's available. Now, this usually happens off the bat, and usually I just tell them that, yes, it's available, and that we'll, deliver it. Is there any type of message that we should be saying as Philadelphians here about Mum?
It's available, and it comes with love from beyond the grave. I think she'll get it. I think this is like a touching post. I think we're gonna reach hearts and minds.
I think this definitely will, I think, reach a lot of hearts. And as we say that, Gary says, I'm getting emotional just reading this.
Oh, Gary. Shout out, Gary. like I said, I got teary eyed. This is in the memory of my mom, and I hope we can do her proud, Gary.
Did Mum go out in like a really Philadelphia fashion, as I hope most Philadelphia mums go out? Like, was she?
Oh yeah.
Did she go out like protesting something in South Philly outside of a local deli? Like, what did she do?
Oh no, my mom went down with half a cheesesteak and half a Yingling in her gullet. Choking out of shock during the season finale of Mayor of Easttown.
That's right. We did put that in there.
She could not believe that second twist ending, and that was all she wrote there. We found her the next day with half a cheesesteak and half an emptied Yingling right there on her tray next to her,
sitting in her Lazy Boy recliner that she hadn't replaced since 1987,
and her favorite sweats.
In her favorite tracksuit, yeah, that she got for Christmas.
The Northeast, particularly Philadelphia, the number one region in the entire U.S. for wearing sweatpants. We keep it pretty chill.
Yeah, Philadelphia is known for many different things, being the cheesesteak capital of the world, having one of the 5th or 6th largest populations in the country, and also largest sweatsuits per capita. Yeah, it's just unbelievable.
I don't understand how Champion doesn't have like a warehouse or a home here. Somebody.
Their headquarters should be in Philadelphia.
Honestly.
Now, is the Centerpiece something that, do you think we should recommend to the folks out there that are messaging inquiries about it, that, eating the hoagie after the holidays is, that's also doable?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how well Acme hoagies are preserved, but, they can mummify it like we mummify Mum and, mummify Mum. Say that 3 times fast.
We should also clarify that the wrapper it came in is down here.
Yes.
That's propping it up out of the vase. It's not a vase, it's a vase. That's how Mum said it.
Yeah, this was not just decorative paper that came with the vase. This is the Acme wrapper it was rolled in.
How do you think that we should respond to Carla, who's telling us that we should hold on to it? It's just, was Mum a hoarder? We don't want to.
No, my mom was not a hoarder. She despised those freaks, as she called them.
My mom hated hoarders. We can't hold on to this any longer.
And we would never dishonor her last wishes.
Exactly, and that's what it comes down to here, really, is that it was in her will that she wanted us to do this. Because
we're not doing this because we want to. It's out of love for a woman who, sacrificed time, blood, sweat, into the fostering of us children. And I think that this is the least she deserves.
Yeah, at the very least. I mean, especially with COVID going on, we couldn't have a ceremony for him, and we weren't going to have one anyway, but mainly because we used the money that was supposed to go towards that on my bookie. Yeah, and just, the Eagles didn't exactly cover the spread.
How did the bets on the Little League World Series go this year?
They went terrible. I had all my money in that local team from Upper Providence right near Sol Joel's, and they tanked once they got to Williamsport. It is fun, though, at the Little League. I mean, I've started talking about people, and last night I brought it up to the show, and people went fucking wild when I was just like, yeah. I was talking about, something about gambling. I lead into it, and I say something about gambling on Little League sports, and these people are like, yes. I was like, yes, you guys are. And I've seen some, people tweet about it more. I was like, it's great to see. But I think there's really some lines that are getting put out there about gambling on, T-ball up to pitching machine baseball, up to when they're on the mound pitching. It's fantastic. I love it.
And especially, this time of year with football season, you're just inundated with nonstop fantasy or gambling ads.
Yeah, that's all it is. And it's like, are people excited about football or just really excited about gambling now? It's like, are you guys you need to make your money back that you've lost already? And it's just, yeah.
I feel bad for the players because, 10 years ago, people would be running up to guys in the street and being like, fuck you, you cost me fantasy points this week. And it's like, yo, Aaron Rodgers, you just cost me my mortgage on my house. So if you get the anthrax letter I sent you, let me know.
I think it's just the emotion that people that are attached to this.
They're getting swept up.
It's one of those touching stories that you see on the evening news once in a while. It's just you can't help it.
This is the kind of heartwarming tearjerker that comes out late in award season that Hollywood just falls in love with, and come award season, it just sweeps it off its feet. This is
We could write a script about this story. It's
Honestly.
real. Forget the Mayor of Easttown. Great show, but I think this should be the prequel to Mayor of Easttown, even though it ends with her dying at the season finale. That could be one of those, like, based on a true story. That's one of the things that got changed.
Local Philadelphia Delco director M. Night Shyamalan. It's one of those twists. The prequel was really a sequel the whole time.
And all those Philadelphia guys are just going to be like, whoa. We can't wait to go home and tell people
It's
about
like Chris Nolan with the timelines, bro.
Jeez.
It was like she was having a heart attack. Wow. Is football players putting the eye black on? Is that blackface? Is that still allowed?
It's pretty close to it. It's awfully close. They're drawing a line there, and I think
They try and dress it up with a Tim Tebow with the Bible scriptures. They're like, it can't be racist. It's about Jesus.
Yeah, and they write it on the. They got the pre-made ones and everything, the stickers. Basically, they had those ones, like instead of the actual like shoe polish you put on there or whatever it was.
That I don't like.
No, they have like the fake
You
stickers.
get all sweaty and like, wouldn't it just like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's so inauthentic.
Man up and put your makeup on like a real dude, okay?
So Amy says, thank you. It's inspired me to start a new tradition, a Wawa Gobbler cornucopia. Rip mum. MM for mum. You know, mum was too hard to type, so rip MM.
Right? Oh my God. You know, she typed out cornucopia, but couldn't be bothered to type out Mum's full name. The disrespect for the dead.
The disrespect for the dead continues. It's unbelievable.
No respect, okay? No, that's a terrible Rodney.
Sound like Rodney after he was dead.
That sounded like some bum who lives outside of a dumpster who tried to do Rodney impressions for cash. I love it. The cornucopia. I'm not gonna lie, Amy Robbins Boggs. I'm kind of jealous that you put up gobbler cornucopia, because what a great combination of words. And just I wish we had cornucopia in our headline and in our title. I think that might get it some extra likes next time.
Gobbler cornucopia. I mean, come Thanksgiving, that's probably going to be the episode that we're going to do.
Thanksgiving is right.
It's just going to be a play on words throughout the entire thing. It's going to be wild.
Cornucopia sounds like some kind of crazy fetish that involves a lot of ears.
Mum would have loved that combination of words.
Yes.
Very touching.
Mum loved wordplay. It was her foreplay.
Mum's wordplay was her foreplay. Absolutely.
That's what she called getting tongued. Tell me sweet nothings, Jim. that was Pop Up. Pop Up Jimbo.
So as usual, people come out with some questions about some very specific things. Is it peppered turkey or plain? Do you know it all?
I believe it's freshly oven roasted from your finest Acme delicatessen.
Oh yeah, and then Michael's overthinking is his Facebook name, number one. I told you there's some characters out here, but how old's the hoagie? Asking for myself. Yeah, so how long has that been in the break room at the dispensary?
Just a little over 24 hours now.
A little over 24 hours, so not bad at all. But
still, the bread is not gone stale. There's no discoloration on the meats, and no rotten onion smell yet from the vegetation.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think it's good to go. And since those are fake plants and it's not, real poison ivy sitting in there, there's nothing to worry about.
Honestly, you get half a blunt of me, I might down this myself. Hurry up, Facebook Marketplace.
I think that needs to be the contingency of this podcast. That if what people bring on doesn't get sold for free, you just got to eat it.
They just have to eat it themselves.
Well, Brendan and I had some of. Actually, I think it's happened every time now. Brendan and I had some of the love brownies that didn't go. Rachel and I had some of our leftover wedding cake. So you might have to end up eating that hoagie. I think worse things has happened, right?
Oh, certainly. I mean, I've been roofied. I've had worse things than eating a turkey.
Have you been roofied before?
I have, in the state of Washington.
Oh my! Tell the story about that. How did that happen?
I was drinking with some friends that I had made, and they were like, "Hey, we're gonna head out," and I was like, "Great! I'm gonna finish my beer and hang out, and like I'll make my way home too." And then I went to the bathroom and forgot the whole and especially in Washington
Washington State or D.C.?
State.
Oh, okay.
I was like, maybe I should have covered my drink, and I didn't. And I came back and I quickly chugged it, and the last thing I remember is just walking out the door.
Did you walk out with your friends at least?
No, they had already left. So I was just like, I'm gonna pee, finish my beer, walk back to my car. Last thing I remember for blacking out, and hopefully, I mean, I got checked. This booty's still a virgin. This ain't been popped.
You got checked for this too?
I had to get checked and make sure I was still a booty virgin, and yeah, last thing I remember for like blacking out is just like walking out the door, and like hours later I woke up just walking. I like came to, like, I remember, like, I like from what I can remember, and like I kind of came to, and I was like stumbling through the streets of like downtown.
Oh my god!
Like where I was trying to remember where I parked my car, and my phone died in like the time that I was like gone, so I couldn't even.
Jesus.
And I think I lost the phone too.
Oh my god!
Like I was stumbling without a phone, like hungover and like roofie hungover, I guess.
Oh my god! So the story will just remain a mystery forever, essentially.
Yeah, except for the people that are gonna hear it now, and maybe one of them was there and like, I remember that guy. He walked out. He was asleep in a ditch for a few hours, but down by the bay, down by the water.
By the water.
There's a cop and a police officer that was like talking to some homeless vagrants, as there are many in Washington and the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah.
And I'm walking up behind him, and I'm going to like say something to him, and I'm like, I know I'm a white, but I should not be approaching a police officer disheveled late at night, from behind. This guy could think I'm like trying to come up on him, and I'm just like, hey man, like, can you help me find my car? I've had a rough one. I got work in an hour.
Jay Maxwell wants to know if it comes in Italian.
Hey, the only thing that comes in Italian is our sponsor, Uncle Sal, okay? Uncle Sal.
Like,
only the finest they use automobiles and lube from Uncle Sal.
Shouldn't I come out with this on Columbus Day? That's what I think this should be released.
Hey! Don't be coming at Columbus, okay?
This is what Kate Perone had to say. I mean, she was pretty much saying that what we have is called mania, having a manic episode, the up to bipolar disorder, with a gif of, where is that gif from? It kind of looks like a...
I know it's Willem Dafoe, but I don't know exactly what movie it's from. But you know what? Who doesn't love some Willem Dafoe in their life,
Yeah.
Huge dong, too, apparently. Like,
does this come from?
Massive. I mean, my autism is like geared towards like baseball facts and history and like movie shit. Like, so like somewhere on IMDb, I guess I read that like Willem Dafoe trivia, huge dong.
Just on the IMDb trivia page, yeah.
There was a movie he had to film like a sex scene for, and the guy was like, all right, let's get a prosthetic for what he's gonna for like the full frontal scene, and it's just like we probably don't. He's like, I don't need it or whatever. It's just like he's like to go in just raw. He's like, I'm very method, and the director goes, whoa, after like framing the shot. It's like, whoa, guy, that thing's too big. It's so blurry.
You're gonna need a stunt double.
They did a stunt cock. His dick was too big. They used a small prosthesis to make it look more normal for the average movie-going fan. When you see full frontal in a movie, it sticks with you. I mean, the worst part of Gone Girl, spoilers for Gone Girl, wasn't the lady riding Neil Patrick Harris to death and slitting his throat open. It was literally seeing half a second of Ben Affleck full frontal in a shower.
No prosthetic needed for that one?
I was like, David Fincher, why did we not edit this out of the movie? What relevance did this have to the plot?
Yeah. Here's somebody, Rob, he's considering buying it, even though it's free. People always think it's, and I try and tell him it's free. The entire thing is free because it's entertaining. But he wants to substitute it with a Wawa hoagie for the Acme one. His mom loved Wawa hoagies. God rest her soul. So where do you stand on the swapping the Acme for the Wawa?
I love the idea of hoagie swapping. Wife swap was a big thing when we grew up.
Yeah.
So like I could see that as a TV show.
Yeah, hoagie swapping, where they all you go out to your local Wawa or Acme, or even Royal Farms. Have you been to Royal Farms over here?
No,
or at all?
No,
I mean, they have really good chicken. They're based out of Baltimore. I gave away some tenders on here from there. Really good chicken. Their hoagies are extremely subpar. I mean, it's essentially hot dog buns with hoagie meat and shit in them, and they charge more than Wawa does. I was like, that's disrespectful to even call that a hoagie and sell it.
This was actually our sponsorship for Royal Farms.
Yeah. I think they blocked me after the first episode. It's like, who is this nutcase selling these tenders on Facebook Marketplace?
They're like, woof.
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping, he's actually considering, if we told some of these people like Rob that it's free and that we can deliver it, they might actually be all over it.
Can we go back to like that profile pic on Rob? What kind of vehicle is that there? Like, it doesn't look like Rob has much to offer us.
He's not really bartering, is he?
He's still, trying to give us what he's got. So you are a scholar and a saint, Rob Lewis.
Yeah. So I think we could do a trade for this entire centerpiece for that truck.
Rob Lewis looks like he could head on down to Uncle Sal's.
That's
Lube and go.
You know how they park the really fancy cars in front of five-star hotels to really show you, like, here's a Ferrari that's here, a Lamborghini, in front of Uncle Sal's Lube and Go in South Philly. This is at the front of the lot.
They got Rob Lewis's pickup.
That speaks wonders for Uncle Sal's business.
It's a Ford.
It's a Ford. Yeah, that's exactly how that would go down with Rob Lewis. And then you got Greg coming in. No cheese, no thanks.
You know what, Greg? I get it. Who doesn't love them some queso? People go to Moe's because they give it out for free. But, we respect the lactose intolerant community. People's gut biomes are changing rapidly. A lot of chemicals in these processed foods today. Who knows what we're getting?
We're just honestly just trying to follow through with Mom's wishes.
She was a no cheese lady.
Yeah, no cheese at all. Was there any specific reasoning for that? Because, back in the day, they weren't diagnosed with any allergies, anything. No. They just rubbed some dirt on it back then,
My mom, she was a tomato pie gal, mainly. It's just, who needs cheese when you got everything else you need?
Especially in South Philly. You got Franco Luigi's, probably the best tomato pie in South Philly, but,
she also...
She blew him, I think.
She's got some stories about that place. My mom, all right? But she also... She read an article in Reader's Digest on when visiting one of her friends, and she was in their bathroom, and they had their little reading collection there, and all Reader's Digest, nothing good. And she found an article in there saying that cheese was just tasty mold. It was just mold, and it's just mold. And she's like, I don't understand why all these people make such a fuss. It's disgusting. It's a fungus. And so she just went cold turkey and stopped putting cheese on them Sammys.
On those, all Sammys, especially her turkey, went cold turkey on the turkey hoagies.
Yeah. Dude, don't even get me started. Trying to drive back from the beach, you're on the highway, you pull over to the rest stop, you just want a quick drive-through interaction. Get your Big Mac, get your McCheese, and get out of here. And of course, all McDoubles. You don't go to you got. There's no just like cheeseburgers or whatever. You gotta get or plain burgers. You gotta get a cheeseburger. And mom's there, just like, hey yo, I asked for no cheese on this McDouble, and there's cheese.
And she's the one ordering the large Coke and those fast food drive-through. Large Coke with no ice.
No ice.
That's become such a big thing now. I always hear. I mean, my parents were doing that when I was growing up all the time because they were just cheapskates. But now I get it. I'm like, holy hell, these cups are all just filled to the brim with ice, and no ice. I'm allergic. Please don't put any in there. And they really must be taking a hit profit-wise on the soft drinks in these places.
It's bad enough. Like, I mean, there's people working. I mean, those were like $6 an hour jobs. Like, growing up, like these people working a dead end minimum wage job, hating life, and people are like, "Hey, can you just like not put any ice in that cup?" And they're just like, That's what I'm gonna put in your cup. Fuck
No
you.
ice, but you got a fucking loogie. That's what you got.
My dad would really fuck with these people who are just disoriented. They're just trying to grab shit off a rack and get it to you real fast. My dad would be like, large Diet Coke, no ice, and can you throw a splash of Sierra Mist on the top? Like, can you go 3/4 Diet Coke and then finish me off with some Sprite?
Oh my God. So he was like the kid at the birthday party inside the McDonald's play place that was just going fucking every single one, just filling her all up and down, but he was doing it as a full-blown adult with kids in the back.
He loved when Pepsi did like their Pepsi Twist and they had like a little lime in it.
Oh yeah,
and they got rid of it, and he was just like, "Fuck."
Now I'm gonna have to go through this whole process of making this concoction through the speaker at the drive-thru.
I gotta put the Sprite in the Coke so I get a little bit of lemon.
Yeah.
It's like they have tea here. They have lemon slices.
Oh my God. It's like he'd be saying at the fast food drive-thru like he does at a bar. It's like, I'll take that with lemon, please.
Yeah.
Could I have a lime on the rim?
So embarrassing. My parents were so embarrassing at restaurants. It's like, Mom, we're at a 2.5-star restaurant. Stop asking them to stop taking stuff back to the kitchen. It's like, we're not at a 5-star restaurant.
Yeah, we're
right
at some
now.
fancy steakhouse and it's just taking stuff back all the time.
We're literally at the mom and pop pizza shop we go to eat at every week.
They know us. They know our names and faces. Please don't embarrass us here.
Come on, for the love of God.
This isn't an Outback. We're not that classy.
Exactly. Come on, we can barely afford Roadhouse once a year.
Jay Maxwell says that she could do it with some hot peppers.
Ooh.
I'm not a fan of peppers, so I mean, I think that's commendable at least. That she's finding ways to adapt.
Is it like I'm such a perv. I'm like, oh, do it with hot peppers. The only hot can you reply the only hot peppers you would do it with are named Flea and Anthony Kiedis.
I mean, yeah, and it would be a great, not even just a centerpiece, but it would look great on a mantle, right above the fireplace.
Next to Mum's urn.
Her urn, you can have that there. Just imagine having a nice fire going later this winter, and then it hits the hoagie, and it just warms it up a bit, so you get the scent in the air.
Ooh, yeah, fellas, picture this, and ladies. You match with someone on Tinder. You found your Tinderella.
Yeah.
You get her to come over.
Tinderella, that's good.
She comes in, dimly lit living room, candlelight, bearskin rug in front of a fireplace. What's on that mantle? Mom's favorite centerpiece. I don't know what else is going to set the scene for an erotic evening.
Oh, yeah. Nothing more than that. I mean, it's just look at that centerpiece.
Look at this. Honestly, if that doesn't get the juices flowing, I don't know what will. And honestly, ladies and gentlemen, if it doesn't get your juices flowing, heading on down to Uncle Sal's Lube and Go will. Again, that's Uncle Sal's Lube and Go on the corner of Tasker and Broad.
What actually is on the corner of Tasker and Broad? They're about to get a lot of business.
The corner of Tasker and Broad is the location of where dreams go to die.
Just ask Uncle Sal himself.
Yeah. The only thing that hasn't died is Uncle Sal's Lube and Go. It's the only thing that survives on Tasker and Broad.
It's pandemic proof.
It is.
They say a lot of Amazon was pandemic proof. Walmart was pandemic proof. Uncle Sal's Lube and Go, pandemic proof, because everyone's at a shortage of staff, and Uncle Sal no one's left.
Uncle Sal's was too small to fail.
I'm beginning to think that that lady was right. We really are having a manic episode. So what would I recently saw you were on set with Sandler? You were on that movie in Manioc?
I wish it was like I'm like a Will Bozarth. Shout out to another Soul Joel's open mic comedian, Will Bozarth, who actually got, I believe, like a small role or a cameo in the film.
Really?
Yeah. So congratulations, Will, on that. I just happened to live in Manioc. Sandler's filming this new movie called Hustler or Hustlers. It's like a basketball movie all around Philadelphia. There's stories about him shooting hoops and like with local Philly people and everything. And they're filming some scenes in Manioc the last couple days.
Yeah.
And I drive home and they have this area right by Main Street blocked off. There's cops. And I saw on Another open micers snap story the other day. Otis Timlin, who also lives around there, saying,
Oh, okay.
"Oh, I can't get my house parking. Thanks, Sandler." And so I was like, "Oh, they must be filming again." So I kind of went around, parked up by my house, walked all the way to the other side of Main Street in Manayunk, and I asked the cop. I was like, "Yeah, what's going on here?" He's like, "They're filming a movie." He's like, "Sandler." He's like, "Some basketball movie or whatever." And I was like, oh, "Okay." So I kind of like walked around, came back up, and I walked down the street and just basically walked right onto set.
Just stood right there, basically, just watching the whole. Actually, I saw them taping part of that down in South Philly at the basketball court across from Gino's a few weeks ago. I didn't know they were still in town.
Yeah, and like Manayunk is where a lot of St. Joe's, a lot of college kids live.
Yeah.
So there's a huge turnout. All these college kids screaming like right by where they're filming.
Yeah.
And dude, Sandman pops up, comes out in an SUV. Dude's like a rock star. Everyone's like, ah.
Yeah.
Chicks are flashing tits.
Yeah.
You know. A lot of just college kids are going crazy, and one of the college kids actually got his beer bong signed by Sandler.
Really?
Yeah, pretty cool. For a lot of the COVID stuff, he was and everything still going like so much out of his way, a lot to try and like interact with fans and everything.
Yeah,
that was cool to see.
Yeah. Well, I think that the only way that this can end is if you start gobbling down this thing.
If I just deep throat this thing, like you were Dickie Roberts, former child star, one of David Spade's illustrious films.
Yeah,
probably doesn't want to remember it.
No,
it even exists.
He does not want to.
One of my favorite lines from any movie isn't that growing up is like some guy like walks in and he's like eating Twinkies and he just goes like, "This one's been teasing me all day," and just goes, "Oh." It's just one of the most ridiculous funny things. I'm like, that's what I'm just about to do with this turkey hoagie, this club, just fucking gobble it on down. Chuck it down the gullet.
Oh my God. Well,
like a seagull down the shore, just throw it back like, oh.
Just throw it on back. That's what this is about to happen here. We'll get to you eating this here in a sec, and we'll just pause for one more quick update from one of our other sponsors.
Hey, yo, this is Sean McCormick, assistant to the general manager of the South Philadelphia Acme. At Acme, we're all about customer care, quality insurance, and no more than 10 wet floors out at a time. No pisos mojados for my Mexican brethrens out there. A lot of Latinos in the Philly area. We are also currently experiencing a staff shortage. Again, speaking to my Mexican brethren out there. Also, if you want to put your Nana to work again so she stops knitting masks all the time, or if you want to get your piece of shit unemployed roommate out of your one-bedroom apartment. I'm looking at you, Carl, okay? You lazy piece of shit. Please contact me at the store. Do not respond to the phone or the emails at Acme. Only in person so we know you're legit and care about this job. No background checks. That's a plus. That's how I got here. But all we ask is no more than 3 felonies. I had 2.5, so I just got in. And, no tattoos above the shoulders. I think that's fair. Post Malone, leave it at home. Acme. It's just a job, not a career. Hey, everybody. Thanks for hanging out on a wonderful Saturday evening with the boys here. My name's Dan Sherman. You can hit me up on Instagram at @DMac_laughs. I had a great time here in Dan Callahan's basement trying to hawk this magnificent turkey hoagie centerpiece. And I just want to shout out all the lovely, just fans and people that reached out and were touched by Mum's story. And I'm even going to give a shout out to the haters. A lot of negative feedback, but, we don't care. It's all positive. It's all go birds. And we're just going to put this turkey hoagie to rest like we laid Mum to rest. Go birds, sláinte. It's so sweet.